Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. This is Monday, December 21st. Would you call the roll, please?
Cedar?
Here.
Ellery?
Here.
Kinsfater?
Here.
Koopa?
Here.
Laporte?
Here.
McCartney?
Here.
Watt?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. If you have any questions or comments during these proceedings, come to the microphone and tell us your name and address, please, and what's on your mind. We have a public hearing tonight, number 4, to request an established industrial development district under Public Act 198 of 1974 as amended, 1811 South Range Road. Mr. Rothy.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe Dan Casey, St.Clair EDA, will kick off this public hearing speaking just about what the process is and what the vote is for.
Good evening, members of council, Mr. Mayor. The tax abatement that's expected to come forward for what we call Project Seinfeld, that would be for the St.Clair Industrial Park. It's a two-step process. The first step is to create an industrial development district. That district then creates the eligibility for a company to apply. Now, when you create a district, you can create it on a per parcel basis. So in other words, it could be just one parcel. It could be multiple parcels, and it can even be an entire industrial park. And so either the community can create the district on their own initiative, or you take a request in writing from a company to create that district. And so in this case, a company has applied or requested rather that the district be created for this project. And it requires public hearing and notice to the taxing jurisdictions, which I believe the city has completed all of that. So tonight you'll hear the public hearing and act on the establishment of the district. And again, that will make any potential future tax abatement application would be eligible to be submitted at that point. Now, in regards to Project Seinfeld, the anticipation is that the company will be submitting a tax abatement application shortly. If a district is in place, they have up to 6 months from the date of a building permit in which to apply. In other words, they can begin construction prior to submitting an application. So that's likely to happen in this case. Are there any questions on the process?
Pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a public hearing. Are there any public comment or questions? All right, then we will close the public hearing and move on to the consent agenda, number 5. City Council minutes of December 7th, 2020, regular meeting recommendation approved, and the Historical Commission minutes of October 8th, 2020, meeting recommendation receive.
Motion to approve A and B as presented. Support.
Motion made, supported. Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go to number 6, resolution A, establish industrial development district, Magna.
Yes, Your Honor, before you is the resolution that would establish that industrial development district, which Mr. Casey just provided an overview on.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfater?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Resolution adopted, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. B is Resolution 2022 Annual Poverty Exemption Policy and Guidelines. Mr. Rothy.
Yes, Your Honor, this is an annual resolution that goes before the City Council, and it is regarding poverty exemptions for Michigan property taxes. Essentially, the Board of Review is our body that approves such exemptions, and every year the guidelines for when the board can issue an exemption change, based income levels and other policy changes as recommended by the State Tax Commission. I spoke with our assessor, and over the last 8-9 years or so, we haven't even had more than 2 applications be in effect at a time. So again, this is a boilerplate regular vote of the council seeking your approval on today too. Again, this allows the Board of Review to use the latest state standards when considering the business that comes before them.
So is it businesses or is it residential?
Residential.
Does it include businesses as well?
No, that they are not included in this exemption program.
And it's based on income, right?
That is one of the main factors, yes.
The whole 12 months worth of income from a previous year? Is that how it's?
I'm not familiar with it at that level.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll support.
Any questions? Call roll, please.
Finsbatter,
Yes.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Watt,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, Your Honor.
Thank you. Resolution 2023 East China School District Consent Agreement. Warren.
John, I can take that matter if you like.
Yes, please, Dowling.
Thank you. Earlier this month, we were contacted by Alan Francis, the county attorney who represents East China School District. You recall he appeared before City Council back in October to explain how he proposed to vacate certain alleys and rights of way on the Gearing School property. He indicated that he has gotten that complaint filed, and what he's done sort of subsequently or almost contemporaneously with the filing is he is soliciting consents from all of the entities and individuals who are required to be served as a part of the complaint, asking that we simply concur with their request on these vacations. What the resolution before you does is would grant authority to the city superintendent to sign that consent and return it to Mr. Francis. And it would simply advance the question for Judge West in the St.Clair County Circuit Court. It's a very cost-effective way for us to avoid any entanglement here. Essentially, it gives an affirmation of the city's blessing of the petition.
I make a motion to approve.
Support.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Koopa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
McCartney,
Yes.
Watt,
Yes.
Ellery,
Yes.
Finsbatter,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, Your Honor.
Thank you. Number 7, Works Administration. Mr. Roth, do you have anything?
Yes, two major announcements for this evening. First, we have finished up our 2020 road reconstruction project with AEW, that is Cass and 3rd Street. Very happy to announce that that project came in under budget by $36,000, 800 and some change. So that's always good to know that we save money on that project. More money we can put forward in roads going forward. The second very exciting announcement to make is that the test results are in for our water filtration employees. Very happy to say that all of them passed. We now have a more highly licensed water filtration plant staff than we have had in recent years. And that includes Tom Fountain. He had the highest score in the state on his exam, which now enables him to serve as our operator in charge of our water plant, which again, it's a huge accomplishment. Really excited. They all studied very hard this past year. The tests were supposed to be in May. They were postponed to November, but I just wanted to give that special shout out to them for their hard work in doing that. And with that, I don't have anything else to report this
Any
evening.
questions for Mr. Rothy? All right, we will go to City Attorney. Mr. Downey, got anything over there?
I have nothing this evening, Your Honor.
All right, anything for Mr. Downey? Any city departments tonight? Chief?
Got about an hour's worth. I'm kidding. First and foremost, as you all probably know, retired Chief Barnum passed away on December 11th, and we had the opportunity to honor him at the funeral home Saturday, and we will be present when they inter him whenever the family decides to do that. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say that a lot of the community work that Chief Barnum did makes my job and our job a lot easier, so I just want to say that publicly. Also, I want to say that the St.Clair Police has complied with Presidential Executive Order 13929, which basically is we had to get our use of force policy certified, and we did that, and I didn't have to rewrite it. It was good as it was written. We met all the requirements, so we are now certified, which allows us to get federal grants if we need them through the Department of Justice. So we accomplished that. Another thing is, beginning January 2021, they're going to start repairing the Tornado Sirens. So during the repairs, you won't get the monthly tests, but you may get intermittent tests as a tech's work on the ones local. So just so you know, they hope to have them running by the spring. And lastly, I would like to bring up Corporal Ennis, because I want to give him an award for meritorious service. And to do that, I'm going to read the write-up that his Sergeant Jake Patchett gave me. Corporal Ennis has been employed as a police officer with St. Clair Police Department for 13 years. In the last 3.5 years, he has been serving as Detective Corporal. Corporal Ennis has gone above and beyond to assist not only the citizens in the city of St. Clair, but any individual who comes to the St. Clair Police Department seeking aid. In more cases than can be outlined here, Corporal Ennis has shown his ability to assist citizens in need regardless of jurisdictional boundaries or civil matter criminal status. In many instances, Corporal Ennis has completed an investigation only to pass it on to another jurisdiction just because of his willingness to assist citizens in need. Corporal Ennis constantly strives to help those persons in need by conducting his investigations in a manner which best represents the St. Clair Police Department. Corporal Ennis' thoroughness in his investigations has awarded himself not only the confidence, support, and respect of his fellow officers, but the reputation as a great investigator amongst his community. Some of the cases, I can't list them all, and you're going to get the Reader's Digest version, but on the afternoon of November 21st, 2019, Corporal Ennis was contacted by the citizen in regards to money being stolen from their account by a family member. Corporal Ennis, through his investigation, determined fraud occurred by the family member during their time as conservative guardianship over that person. Corporal Ennis was able to successfully pursue charges for fraud in that case. On the afternoon of December 27th, 2019, Officer Trenz and Corporal Ennis were contacted by a complainant in regards to a possible fraud situation occurring with his vehicle lease paperwork. Through Corporal Ennis's and Officer Trenz's diligent investigation, they were able to prove the leasing company had fraudulently altered the lease agreement to incur late fees from the leaseholder. Although none of the crimes occurred within our jurisdiction, Corporal Ennis and Officer Trenz ultimately had to turn the investigation over to another department. Their willingness to help a citizen in need, regardless of the jurisdictional boundaries, provided great relief to a citizen living here in St. Clair. On the morning of July 11th, 2020, Corporal Ennis was contacted by another department in the state of Ohio. At their request, Corporal Ennis spoke with a possible victim of a phony money scam via email and online transactions. During the course of Corporal Ennis's investigation, he determined that the subject in St. Clair was a victim of a money laundering scheme, and her account was being used to launder money from different states through fraudulent unemployment accounts. Corporal Ennis was successful in halting a $7,000 payment in fraudulent cash before it was picked up by the suspects in another state, and he was able to seize and return money to the state involved. And on the afternoon of July 20th, 2020, Corporal Ennis was contacted by a local business about a retail fraud that just occurred. Upon speaking with the complainant, Corporal Ennis was able to secure a photo of the suspect. During his investigation, Corporal Ennis was successful in positively identifying a suspect through interviews and social media outlets. Corporal Ennis was also able to determine the identity of the getaway vehicle, and by conducting a thorough investigation, Corporal Ennis was able to close a low solvability case and submit charges to the prosecutor. And I believe on that one, several law enforcement agencies in Southeast Michigan were able to solve some of their cases too. So, Sergeant Patrick closes by saying, Detective Ennis is an integral part of our police department and a huge asset to have working for the citizens of St. Clair. And it's based on these facts and many others that Detective Corporal Ennis is deserving of this commendation. And I'm giving him a commendation for meritorious service. Thank you for your service.
obviously I'm humbled by getting this award. Thank you, Sergeant Patchett, for writing it. It's very kind of you. You know, St. Clair police officers, we have a unique job here because when we bring officers in, you know, we're not call takers. We're investigators, we're detectives, and all of us are, because when we bring people in, that initial officer just doesn't handle the call and pass it on to someone else. That officer takes that call, does the detective work, does the investigation, types the reports, interviews suspects, interviews the victims, submit charges, goes to court and testifies. So this complete process is very lengthy, and it takes a brand new officer a lot of time and skill to hone these skills down. But at St. Clair PD, we obviously strive to have that youngest officer achieve those skills. And I think, you know, that would not be successful if we didn't have good leadership. You know, I've always had good leaders. Chief Raker continues that, you know, that positive leadership that we need. Same thing for Sergeant Lippa and Sergeant Patchett. So we've always had good leaders. And I'll kind of get on my soapbox here. Obviously, with the recent passing of Chief Barnum, he hired me back in 2008. So I didn't work with him too long, only about 10 months, but I'll kind of give you a little background story. So back in 2008, it was very difficult to get a job in law enforcement. You would go to police departments and you would have 150 people there applying for one job. And that's very daunting for a young man trying to start his career. So you'd have 100 people, 150 people, one job. So I applied, you know, 50 departments in Michigan. And to this day, I still have a stack of letters this thick of departments saying that you're not good enough. You're not smart enough, you're not gonna be any good. So I've always made a promise to myself that whatever city hired me full-time would get the best officer. And I would be better than those 50 officers that got hired before me. So to kind of get back to the Chief Barnum, you know, he gave me that opportunity to become a police officer in St. Clair. And that's something I don't take for granted any day. I love my job, I love what I do, I love to come in here and work hard for the citizens of this city. And you know, Chief Barnum taught me a few things. He taught me that I still hold deeply today. He taught me to, you know, whatever you do in life, to be prepared. You know, always bring a pen, always bring a pad of paper, always practice, work hard, and if you set yourself up to be, can I get up my thought here? To be successful, you know, always. You know, sorry. So if you set up to be successful, then a second thing he always taught me was to be a good leader and to treat people with respect, because our job is not easy. When we give people tickets, we arrest people, and sometimes those situations aren't good. You know, who wants to be arrested? Who wants to be, you know, given a ticket? But you know, Chief Barnum has always taught me to be professional, because when you're putting those people in handcuffs or giving them a ticket, you know, if you treat them professionally, they're going to remember those interactions one day. And I've had many situations where I put someone in handcuffs or giving them a ticket, and then a week later I go to their house asking for their help. So this is a small town. Things come full circle pretty quick. So it's easy, you know, to lose sight of that. But at the end of the day, Chief Barnum has always taught me to be professional. That's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. So, like I said, I only knew him for about 10 months or so, but those traits he taught me still stay with me today. So, sorry off my soapbox here, but I just, you know, wanted to get that out to the public that, you know, he will be missed, and he does still hold close to my heart. So, thank you.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, Chief. Thank you to all our officers, all you guys, ladies and gentlemen out there. You do a great job, and we are so lucky to have you. Thank you. Oh, any other departments?
Your Honor, I'd like to add one last thing. In my position, I have the opportunity to work with many different faces as they come and go on city councils, and I just wanted to especially thank Member Watt and Member Ellery for, you know, taking the chance on me, bringing me in here, and just, it's been an honor to serve alongside of you both for these last 14 months, and I wish you well, and I hope that we all stay in touch. So I just wanted to make that statement.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go to D, authorities, boards, commissions, committee chairs, council reps, anybody? Okay, number 8 is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business. We'll go to new business, number 9. A, charter amendment special meeting follow-up. This is the result of last week and tonight's work session. Mr. Downey, I have a question for you. If we vote to put this on the ballot, do we have time and can we, in the next coming days, months, weeks, whatever, revise, add to, amend, or in any way change it if we decide after discussions that we want to put something else with it? Can that still be done? Yes. Would you say yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to make the motion to bring this back onto the agenda tonight. The drafted wordage of section 2.01B of the St. Clair City Charter. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second your motion.
All right. The motion made, supporters. Are there any questions?
So what you're saying is we can tweak this?
I'm sorry. Say this again.
We can tweak it?
We can tweak this if we in the coming months. Jim Downey.
Well, Your Honor, if I understand, you're making a motion to reconsider the vote on the issue that was before council at its last meeting.
Yes.
Yes. So the motion, and I understand it's been supported. The vote right now is whether or not there's going to be a re-vote on that question.
Okay. So we're going to have a vote and then a vote?
That's correct. There does not need to be a new motion after, if this motion were to pass, and it would just pass on a 4-3 basis, then there would be a new vote, and you'd need 5 votes to prevail on the subsequent vote.
All right. Member Kinsfather's question is, if we do pass both those situations, can this still be tweaked in the coming days?
Yes, I don't believe this has to be transmitted to the county until late in the summer of 2021.
You confirm that? Annette?
Yes, I can check those dates.
Okay.
I agree with Attorney Downey's assessment of the timeline.
All right. Does that answer your question? All right. So the motion's been made. This first vote will just be if we're going to re-vote.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess we better call the roll on that.
Okay, motion made by Cedar, supported by McCartney to reconsider the vote on the charter amendment resolution. Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfather?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for all your hard work on that. I know it's a difficult situation in some respects. Okay. So now we have to have another vote
On the resolution.
on the actual resolution. So, but we don't need another motion for that?
There does not need to be a motion for that, Your Honor.
Real quick question, though. To make the changes to the amendment, do we need a 5-2 vote to get that approved?
That's not the question before the council tonight, Member Kufa.
But my question is if we get that approved tonight, and we want to make amendments or changes to the approved charter amendment, do we need a 5-2 vote in the future to make those changes?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions for Downey? All right, then we'll call the roll on this also.
Okay, this roll call is to adopt the resolution regarding the charter amendments.
Correct.
McCartney?
Yes.
Watt?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfather?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Resolution adopted, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. All right. We will go to B, MERS Healthcare Savings Program Participation Agreement. Mr. Rosie.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm going to combo new business B and C for the sake of simplicity. So the first thing is in the AFSCME contracts, they negotiated a provision where they did away with retiree health care for new hires and replaced it with a health care savings account contribution. This document that must be adopted by council that would begin that program with MERS, I didn't have it ready at the last council meeting, so that's why you're seeing it today versus when you did all the other changes for the AFSCME contract at the last meeting. But that is what new business B is about. New business C is a defined contribution plan addendum. This is related to the changes that and the addendums that you voted on at the previous meeting. And again, it's all of the making sure the data and the paperwork is right on the city's end and on MERS's end. For example, when in this case, this is amending the existing defined contribution plan for police officers. on the original adoption paperwork, there is no questions that MERS asks, like who is this for, full-time, part-time employees, what is considered compensation, base wages and other, and is there any sort of probationary period on this? All of those, again, to me it makes sense that why weren't those on the form to begin with? I don't know, but MERS has got them on all their forms going forward, and this is merely the last piece. Again, a vote on this is really just reaffirming, again, what's in the existing bargaining agreement with the POLC, that, again, their defined contribution plan is for new hires hired after, I don't remember the date. Its base wages is what we define compensation. It's for full-time employees, and there's no probationary period before the city contributions begin. So those are those two documents with MERS. I'm happy to answer any other questions you may have on those.
Your Honor, would you be looking for a motion to approve B and C?
Let's do one at a time, please.
You want to do one at a time?
Yeah.
Then I make a motion to approve B.
Support.
All right, motion made, supported. Questions? Call the roll, please.
Black?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfather?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll
Your
go
Honor, I make a
to C.
motion to approve C as presented.
Support.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Ellery?
Yes.
Kinsfather?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Black?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
Thank you. We'll go to D, authorized creation of Woodland Estates Special Assessment Report.
Yes, Your Honor. As members of council know, as I've communicated with you, the residents of the Woodland Estates condominium have put together a petition seeking that the city council begin the special assessment process to levy a special assessment on their property to bring the road into the city and and improve it structurally. Again, this is merely an advisory petition, does not carry any force of law. What we're asking to do this evening is the very first step in the special assessment process, which involves several public hearings, public notices, things like that. Is the city superintendent is required to provide council with a report. Now, to be fair, a lot of this report has already been created, but some things have not been, so much of what AEW already has done just needs to be retweaked, reworded. I'll probably have them incorporate the latest bid pricing that we got this year, because that the proposal was that we had before, that was back in early February before bids went out. So again, this is really just to initiate the process. It doesn't mean we're accepting the road. It doesn't mean we're moving forward with the special assessment officially. It merely just gives me the authority to bring council that required report.
I make a motion, Your Honor, to authorize the creation of the Woodland subdivision special assessment report.
Made by McCartney, supported by Laporte. Any questions? All right, call the roll, please.
Kinsfather?
Yes.
Koopa?
Yes.
Laporte?
Yes.
McCartney?
Yes.
Black?
Yes.
Ellery?
Yes.
Cedar?
Yes.
Carried, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, E, approve selection of regular council meeting dates for 2021. Ms. Sturdy, you want to address that?
Certainly, Your Honor. In front of you are the list of dates for the regular council meetings for the 2021 year. Every date does fall on the Monday except for September 7th, which is a Tuesday because of Labor Day. So we would need a motion to approve these dates, please.
So move, Your Honor.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the moment you all been waiting for, 2021 boards and commissions. So bear with me. Board of Review, reappoint Blake Eitner, Ken Maddock, Judy Shawn, Jason Stoltz for one-year terms expiring December 31st, 2021. Building Commission, reappoint Dolores Boyer, Rick Jefferson, and Chad Muldermans for three-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. Cemetery Board of Trustees, reappoint Betty Fryer, Nancy Germain for three-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. Downtown Development Authority, reappoint Tim Burns for one-year term expiring December 31st, 2021. Lynn Grover and Al Johnson, each for two-year terms expiring December 31st, 2022. Bill Kaufman and Roy Clutch, each for three-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. And Brian Neiman and Paul Wade, each for four-year terms expiring December 31st, 2024. Housing Commission, appoint Steve Ellery for a five-year term expiring December 31st, 2025. Library Board, reappoint Ruth Bauer for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2023, and Kathy McConnell, Friends of the Library, representative for a 1-year term expiring December 31st, 2021. Planning Commission, reappoint Matt Griefor and Steve Grates for 3-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. Planning Board of Appeals, appoint Dave Hingeldorf for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2023, and reappoint DeLoss Boyer for a 1-year term expiring December 31st, 2021. Chad Muldermans and Chris Fisher for 3-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. Recreation Commission, reappoint Dolores Topel and appoint Doug Vernier for 3-year terms expiring December 31st, 2023. I-69 International Trade Corridor Michigan Development Corporation Board, reappoint Warren Rothy and alternate Butch Kinsfather for 1-year term expiring December 31st, 2021. SEMCOG, reappoint Warren Worthy and Mike Laporte for 1-year terms expiring December 31st, 2021. Appointments with residency waiver now. On the Historical Commission, reappoint Fred Miller, 3549 South River Road, East China, and Tim Backhurst, 275 Riverside Drive, Clinton Township, for 3-year terms expiring December 31st. I'll need a motion to approve the residency waivers for these appointments as recommended.
So moved.
Support.
Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Here's some additional information. There are additional boards, commission, and authorities and council rep appointments made in January. Current vacancies include Beautification Commission, Cemetery Board of Trustees, DDA, and Golf Commission. Applications are available at City Hall or on the City of St. Clair website. Thank you. Let's go to number 10, claims and accounts, December 10th, 2020, December 17th, 2020.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, make a motion to approve as presented.
Support.
All right, any questions?
Yeah, actually, I do have one question on check number 51515 to DTE Energy. It's shown for our street lights. Is there a way that we can direct administration to look into an LED replacement program for the street lights? See if we can save some money possibly?
Absolutely, yes.
Sure, I can look into that. I don't think you need to make any sort of motion unless you...
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. Unless there's any dissenting opinion to that, we'll have Mr. Rothi look into LED lighting. All right. Anything else on claims and accounts? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go to number 11, public questions and comments, limit to 3 minutes for any non-agenda items. Anybody have anything tonight for the good of the cause? Yes, sir.
Two things briefly. One's actually a question. I had my hand raised while waiting for public comments before the vote on the amendment vote. So it's too late for that, but I guess I need to understand what happened. I guess this is for Mr. Downey. So the way I understand it, we voted on something that isn't perfect. It's going to be amended. But I guess the crux of my question is, did I hear you say it's going to take a 5-2 vote to get something changed on what we just voted on tonight?
That's correct. Yeah, any ballot initiative requires 5 votes. So
Okay.
the ballot initiative that's been approved tonight, in order for it to be changed or amended, would require those same 5 votes.
Okay, thank you. I just get my head. Question number 2 was from Mr. McCartney from the last meeting. Is there any more news on getting that aluminum structure torn down?
I have not gotten any reports back from administration or our building and code enforcement officers that as of this date. I was going to wait till after the holidays to try to circle back, but if you want to redirect that question to the city superintendent for an update, that would be fine with me.
Sure, we are looking forward to having a meeting in early of next year.
Okay.
And talk about all that.
Fair enough. It's on the works. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Anybody else?
Mary Bodad, 1170 South 12th. I believe I'm speaking on behalf of all the people that worked on the election, that we have the perfect clerk here in St. Clair. She always has training for us, and this year she received a grant. We had brand-new signs, we had name tags, we got extra pay. We always do everything perfect. We're always perfect here in St. Clair, but anyway, when you do your budget, make sure you remember our girl. Wow. Thank you.
Whoa, gee.
Is that unsolicited?
Thank you, Mary.
Do you want to thank Aunt Mary? Thank you, Ms. Boda. We agree with most of that. Well, anyway, anybody else? All right.
I have a, I guess we can save mine to the next.
Okay, let's go to number 12. Mayor and council member comments and announcements. Do you want to go first? Because I have two things.
My only announcement is City Hall will be closed December 24th, 25th, and 31st, and January 1.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody on council and administration for allowing me to work with you over the last 8 years. And I appreciate the votes that we voters for coming out. And I want to thank them for letting me be a city councilman over the last 2 years. Also, is garbage still being picked up on Thursday?
Should be.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Your Honor, we've talked about this in the past, and I don't notice if it's ever came out into a public meeting or an opportunity to get definition when we can vote on it, when a proposal could be presented. But we've talked about adjusting council members' annual wages for a long time. I don't know if wages is the right term, but we talked about when is the proper time and by charter that we can do that.
Your question for Downey, I think.
I don't know.
I believe you can make the motion, whether it be a resolution or whatever format Downey recommends, but it won't be applicable until the next election cycle. So you could make your changes now, but it won't be applicable until the next electors.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? I do have two things. Obviously, I mean, I want to, see just a little bit about Don Barnum because I worked with him quite a bit too, and he really was about community and family, and he really just loved St. Clair. I grew up with him actually. We played a lot of hockey. You did too, hockey and football, and just a great family, the Barnum family, and our condolences and thoughts go out to them. So, remembering Don Barnum, I think, is important for all of us, and just a good man he was. He was a good man. The other thing I want to do is I want to thank John Watt for his term, for working hard. We appreciate your input and your contributions. And Steve Ellery, 14 years? 14 years of service, that says a lot for a man. And Steve, it was a pleasure to work with you. I think I should give you guys a round of applause for that. All right. Did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
Anybody? Everybody have happy holidays. Be safe. Stay safe. Stay positive. Test negative. Mr. Laporte, you want to do your thing?
Sure. Make motion to adjourn. Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Take care. Be safe.
Thank you, Jim.